I guess it's working. So I had to get out of the way. So I hope everybody's having a great day. Bear with me. Yeah, so I got to the shipper and trying to figure out how to see these comments. Got to the shipper and they have no room to take the product and they did not have an appointment listed for me. So I called the broker and let them know. I got a great broker that I'm working with. And so, hey, Nevada. So I got a great broker that I'm working with and they are working on it and getting me to take it someplace else, which is 100 miles away. So I thought, I get the truck rolling and then he calls me and he tells me, stop. They can't take it either. So I have a load of these big paper rolls, right? So I'm sitting here near just outside the receiver and I pulled over. I'm not going anywhere and they're trying to figure out where I can take this stuff. So I'm chilling, hoping not to get in anybody else's way. So I'm just on the side of the road. So hope y'all are having a great day. Apparently I can go live. I thought I had to have 1,000 subscribers before I could go live, but I guess that's changed with YouTube. So trying it out, which is much better. So if you guys can hear me okay, put a thumbs up if that's all right, because I don't know, I'm just doing this for my phone, so don't know how it sounds to you guys. Anyways, so I'm in Alabama, just outside of Birmingham, doing a paper roll load, like I said. And okay, good. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for letting me know that this is working. So I thought I would check this out because nobody else that I watch is live right now, and apparently I have some downtime, which is unusual. And so good time to try it, right? Mess with my YouTube channel. So anyways, everything's going good. I just wanted to let you know, and I guess just kind of bring up a little topic that and hi, Bull of the Woods, Exquisite, Joe Wentz in Nevada, all you guys, thanks for popping in. So you're on my first live. And so I'm in a good spot for freight, so I'm not worried about it, you know. And so I'm okay. Like my brokers, so my topic was that I think that in this time, like everybody's talking about rates and struggling and all this other stuff. And being that I'm new to this game and all that, like I did struggle really hard the first week, you know, got myself in some situations. I've made a lot of mistakes, as I said in my last video. But what has seemed to save my butt during this time, and I'm still seeing what I feel is a good rate, enough to where it's covering my truck costs and my fuel, and I'm seeing a little bit of money, which I'm satisfied with. Now, mind you, let me just remind you, like when I started, when Dart, after I did my time with Dart running their contract freight, which is about 5 months, then they released me to get on the open boards so that I could book my own loads and try the owner op, like the next step, right? And so I made all the mistakes and bumbled around and took a whole bunch of punches there. So my income went from low to lower. And then I started to kind of get the hang of things real fast. Thank you to all your channels, all you guys that have helped me and all of that. So just, you know, taking that information and putting it together and then putting it into practice is like, even though like I hear all these great informations from all you guys, but then actually stepping out and doing it, right? So then it was time to put it to work. So I took all of your advice and all the information that I've heard and kind of just had to refocus what I was doing, had to understand how I needed to plan my loads ahead of time and being careful with my time and where I was going. But the biggest thing that has saved me, I believe, is the relationships that I've made with the brokers. So I understood after I was out there sitting for a day because I wasn't booked up and couldn't find a load and this and that and the other. I took a couple loads that weren't that much money, but they started establishing me a performance with the broker, like C.H. Robinson, Coyote. I did kind of like 2 loads for a bunch of brokers just to give them like some kind of work history that I delivered it on time. I exist, I'm here, I've already ran for you, whatever. So now one particular broker has been really working tight with me and keeping me running and being very fair with me as far as the rate. So I'm going to say that that's the one thing that I think is important, because I'm going through it right now, is making a good business relationship with a broker. So that's saved my butt. So at least right now, right? So I'm hoping it just continues, and I'm just trying to continue to do good work, and be very professional. I send photos of the loads. I do like all this extra little bells and whistles stuff just to try to help me to stand out, because I think, and you guys, if you guys know for sure, I feel like they keep some kind of record or rating system on you. I think I've heard about it before. So in the spirit of that, I've wanted to just make sure and do good. Just in case they're keeping, like they keep stars or comments on you or whatever. Like I've just been keeping that in mind and providing good service. And I've been telling them, like, if we have a problem with the windows, I think it's not going to work, I will tell them, well, I don't want to provide you bad service, so can we open this up or whatever. So I say things like that to let them know, like, I'm trying to provide quality work. And so, I mean, you can tell them to kick rocks, Nevada. But, is that going to get you paid? Is that going to, put the butter on the bread? I don't think so. I don't feel like that, at least at this point. So, I'm just trying to be good to everybody and be outstanding as I possibly can by providing good service and letting them know that that's my intention. So, hi, Nomadic Brit. And so, hey, you've been missing in action. Everybody's been asking about you. And they were cracking jokes about you maybe, passed out on your front lawn over the weekend holiday. So anyways, that was funny. I think it was Cash is King. They were talking about that because everybody was asking where you're at. So it was funny. If you see it, it was in good humor. It wasn't anything negative towards you. Everybody got a kick out of it. So, but everybody's been missing you. So
in 700 feet, turn left on Beechamont Drive.
Uh-oh.
In 700 feet, turn left on
Beechamont
Drive.
Okay. That's my partner, Randy. A 3-day bender. Okay. Hey, a break is good. Sometimes you just gotta let your hair down. I get it. In much respect. But it's back to work, guys. So we got the rest of the summer to be successful and kick butt and take advantage of the weather, right? And build some good relationships with the Tolga. And so that's my intention anyways. I'm just trying to run as hard as I can. It's very difficult. I mean, this summer's going to be I got to take a couple breaks. I have 2 daughters getting married, right? So, it's once, right? So I have plans to the first wedding is June 24th or 25th. 25th, and then I'm coming into town on the 24th. We're gonna do the wedding, and then the next day I'm out. I'm gonna be out for a couple weeks, and then I think I got a baby's birthday I gotta come home for, but then I don't have to be back till October. So it is go time, every time in between. I am not going to miss out on this at all, because things are so volatile. You guys know that, right? Obviously. We don't know what's going to happen in the next couple weeks, months, whatever. Like, we spend lots of time speculating and talking about it. So, again, just me being new to this and all that, like, all I know right now is to just go and work as hard as I can. So, high grade 8, and just stay focused on making the best of every single day, because I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. It's so scary. Some people are like doom and gloom. Some people are like, yeah, it's going to go back up probably. And then some people are like, who knows, right? Everybody has different opinions. What did I do before I became an owner operator? Where as a company driver. Oh, okay. Depends on how far you want to go back. Oh, I'm sorry about your truck. Okay, so a little history on me. My career background, like while I was raising my kids and stuff like that, like I worked in administration of engineering departments at automakers like Chrysler and General Motors. And so I've worked, that's my forte. So my job was data analyst and streamlining departments. So I was trained by General Motors to go in and take a business unit, and it was a rough job because hey, you guys remember that movie, The Office? I think that was it, where so the auditor comes in and he sits everybody down and asks them what they do, yada, 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 right? So my job was to do that and create business cases for the department heads so they could decide who was necessary and who could be laid off, I guess. So people liked me, thank God, because my people skills and I'm a very kind person. So, but they did not like my job. Needless to say, nobody wants to be like put on the spot. And that was my job, was to sit down with people and just kind of detail what they do. And then that way job descriptions were also created from that information, so that if they were to hire somebody else, this is what this person does in this position with this title. Especially engineers. Now, mind you, I'm working with, yes, please hit the thumbs up, guys, please. So I'm working with engineers with doctorates, with, master's degrees and bachelor's degrees and all of this stuff. So that's my background, is my career most of the time. But then, layoffs happen, and and in the automotive industry, they get everybody. So eventually my number came up and I had to go do something different. So then I went on to manage restaurants, and that just sucked. Like, I love people, but there's a point when I get burned out, right? Especially when you're in the hospitality industry. And working with engineers is very, very hard because they have, like, no offense to engineers, but you probably know what I mean if you're worked in that area or whatever. The personality thing isn't really there. Like, they're very focused on what they do. So, anyways, that led me to just ending up broke again, and I'm still raising my 3 daughters by myself with my mother's help, and thank you, Jesus, because I couldn't have done it without them. But I ended up taking a job working at home so I could be with my kids. Now, mind you, they were teenagers, so I had all that going on. But my last job before I became a trucker was working with Apple tech support. So I fixed iPhones over the phone. And I did that for a year and worked my butt off and still barely made ends meet. Now, my kids were like graduating and things like that. Or my last one was graduating, I guess. Anyways, so I got mentally burned out on that. I don't want nobody to call me with an iPhone issue ever. I love you guys, but don't call me about no cell phone problems. Like, I can't, I'm like, it's over. So I live in Flint, Michigan, and so as you guys probably know from the media, Flint had a water problem, right? Still has a water problem, by the way. So when that hit, they try to give free, they try to give us free stuff and whatever to keep us cooled out and whatever. And so they give you all the free. This is how I'm surviving now, because a lot of people ask me this question. I still own I own my home. I own nothing on it. And so here I am with a situation where a house that would be worth $250,000 on the market is now worth $1,250. Yes, you heard it right. $1,250. It's a 5-bedroom house, 2 full baths, a city lot and a half. Right. What do I do with that? No one's moving into Flint. No one wants to be there. I can't turn it into a rental because there's no, we've lost half of our population. I can't do nothing with it. So I gave that to my daughter, and getting to this point. So at that time when I was wanting to stick a pen in my eye because I hated being tech support, I decided that, I talked to a friend, and a friend told a friend who told me that they was going to start truck driving because a friend had told them that there was this program downtown at the unemployment office, and they were offering grants for us, for citizens of Flint, if we wanted to go to CDL school. So that's what I did. So he did it, and then I was like, oh, I want to do it too. So at this point, my youngest is graduated, and I'm right. What do I do now? Like, my kids don't really need me. They're getting off on their own, and they're all beautiful and successful, and they're going places and all that. So that's good. But then I find myself in this life situation, like, okay, what do I do? What does one do now at this age when you're in the empty nest now? And so what did I want to do for me? So I decided to just go for it, and I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. That's I can travel, I can, right, and get paid for it and all that. And I have a business mind. I'm a very entrepreneurial person, so I was like, okay, I want to check into this. I want to go do it. High-cool trucking. And so, yeah, I know this is a long answer, but that's how I got started. So I got a free grant, went to school for free. I didn't, it took me about 8 weeks. I went to, I can't remember the name of school now, 160 Trucking Academy. And so when I got out of there, I was a free agent, which was cool because I didn't owe nobody nothing. I didn't have to promise, I wasn't stuck like in a situation where I had to work with a certain company or whatever. It was real hard to find a job at first, and because nobody wants to hire you with no experience, right? Well, there happened to be one company in town. Hi, Fate. And so there happened to be one company in town that would hire new people right out of the school because they kind of had a little relationship with the school. So my first money was 35 cents a mile. And I went team with somebody and went over the road, Michigan to Texas. Hi, Snorlord. And so I ran auto parts from Detroit to El Paso, back and forth with the team member. So we did that for 9 months. And then COVID hit. Then we got laid off. And so, but then I was a trucker, right? I had a little bit of experience. And then from there, I did FedEx for 2 months because I couldn't stand sitting home being on unemployment. So I tried FedEx because I wanted to give myself some experience, and let's try doubles, right? So I did doubles for 2 months. And then JB Hunt was after me until I had put in a full year on record. And that recruiter stayed in touch with me and whatever. And then so finally, once I hit my 12 months of experience, then I was eligible to go to JB Hunt out of Chicago and go to intermodal. And they were telling me, $90,000. I was like, woohoo, big time, right? And so I took off and told the girls what I was doing and whatever. And then I went to work out of Chicago, out of the rails, and And I fell in love with that. And JB Hunt happens to be an excellent company. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, I got lots of JB Hunt info in there. I was very happy at that job. But again, when I started, because I'm entrepreneurial, I wanted to do this thing for myself. So I wanted the business eventually, get on my own and be an owner operator. So I studied that whole time, and I still study like every day. That's when I started watching the channels. Does this ever happen to you guys? Like this guy, whoever he is, he's very rude. So I started studying the information and, watching all the guys and stuff and learning everything. This is all while I was a company driver. I was practicing what I was learning, pretending like the JB Hunt truck was my truck. And just kind of, getting into the groove of, okay, those basic things that I could practice while I was working at JB Hunt. And then finally, I was making so much money at JB Hunt and doing so well at JB Hunt that, the more I worked, the more the IRS started to take. And so I was finally like, all right, so that sucks. I don't like the IRS taking my money. I don't like being in a situation where they can take from me. The more I worked, the more it was handed over to them. And so I decided, I felt like I was ready to change my game. I wanted to get into business for myself. So I began to study and speak with, I don't know, like these comments come up and then they fade and I miss them. So I literally interviewed 35 lease purchase programs. And I'm analytical, as I stated, because of my work background. Like I interviewed these people. I asked them questions, like probably more than anybody that they've ever talked to, because I was trying to look at all the scenarios and ask the questions that I heard about on YouTube and get all that information and then compare them and whatever. And so Dart didn't have the best reputation, but had the best lease for me getting a piece of equipment. So step one of my business plan was to get a truck. Understanding also from other lease operators that have spoken about it, with all that information put together, I learned a very important point, and I think it was very important for my mindset going into this, that these lease purchase programs are only designed to help you get a truck and probably eat a little bit. They're not designed to give you enough money to pay your bills at home, take care of a wife and kids, all of this other stuff. Can you do that? If you find something that works and that it's like that, but it's a very volatile environment. Not so bad if you have a company dispatching you, like they want to run you to death, and so you're pretty much sure to make money. But those companies usually end up running the truck out and charging you too much for the truck. So they're designed, you're not designed for success. So Dart had a good program that was reasonable. And I was able to get a good payment on the truck because I was worried about the payment. And so I chose to leave my job that I loved so much at JB Hunt and make the leap. And so Dart is where I went to begin my journey with that. And I liked their terms. It was reasonable, and I was ready to not worry about getting the big bag, because I know that the sacrifice right now is about getting the truck. So I'm running my business accordingly, right? And I'm trying to make extra money in the process, but my mind is not there because I know there's a purpose for what I'm doing. This is setting the foundation for the rest of my business. So that's where my head's at. And so that's how I ended up at Dart. It's been really tough. Like, Dart is a different company. Which is probably why they're not real popular and why they see some turnover and all of this other stuff, because from my point of view, being a business-minded person and talking to some of the drivers, I'm driving like a boss. So touch your screen to see the chat after it fades. Okay. I think that, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. And so then when I got to Dart, and I happened to get a great truck. My truck is beautiful. It's in excellent condition. It's only had 2 drivers before me. I just got blessed. And so I'm happy with my purchase, right, that I'm working on. Dart is different because they've been doing this for 80 years, which is a very long time. See, JB Hunt's only been in business for 60 years. Dart's been around for 80 years. So this is what they do. They are here to help people be owner operators. So I got into my truck with no money down. It's a $25,000 balloon payment, but I should have enough money in my maintenance account, knock on wood, that will take care of itself. But honestly, so I have 2 years of payments and then I'm done. And so that's my plan. I gave myself 2 years looking at the truck lease program, right? And so in 2 years, I plan to have the title to this truck. But honestly, like, I have rethought that like quite a few times. After getting my business started and learning about business credit and just envisioning like how I'm going to need business credit when I have breakdowns and things like that and stuff to continue my business, right? Business credit is very important. So I'm working on building my business credit right now because, there may be a point that I don't want to wait the 2 years and I want to go to my bank and have my business finance my piece of equipment. I think that would be a good move for the business. Hi, Trucker Jason. And so I think that's a good plan. What I hesitate on though is that I'm going to need a trailer to totally break away from Dart. I'm going to need a trailer. I'm going to need to have my truck. They will let me move it to another carrier, but I'm not trying to ask somebody for all of that at this point. And thank you, Snorlord, for sharing it. And so right now I'm just here. I'm going to do the thing, right? Build my business credit. And then if there's a point when I want to make a move or pay off my truck and break ties with Dart, I'd like to go to like trucking. Like that's my goal. But if I want to pay it out early, then I'll have the business credit to do that. So that's where I'm at today. Just kind of all that. And then in a volatile market, right? So that's kind of my game plan that you guys are, I'm trying to build this YouTube channel because it's a journey. I think it would be interesting for people to watch it. I'm not trying to inundate people with a ton of videos, but there are women coming into the industry and I'm hoping to be an inspiration to them and be there for help, like if they have any questions or whatever. And because I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm out here like being the girl, learning from my mistakes though. So I feel like I'm being smart about a lot of things, I'm going to admit that I make mistakes, but I learn from every single one of them, which makes me able to help other people, I think. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. But I'm also trying to put my journey down so that, it can be enjoyed and women can find some inspiration, and guys too, like anybody that's trying to do this. Because I don't want to lie. I don't want to sugarcoat stuff. I'm not going to sit here I have no plans to like share my settlements. Everybody, the first thing they ask me about Dart is, oh, are you making money? That's not what I'm here for. Like, yeah, I'm surviving, guys. But if I had a wife and kids, I don't think I could do it. And I know when I'm talking to the driver, some of the drivers, they get pissed off and they blame the company. They blame Dart. It's not Dart's fault. It's a business. You're running a business. So if you can sustain your family bills, and again, this is where it all comes back to knowing your numbers. If you can take care of 3 other people and do this and sustain yourself, you are great. If you can do that. As a single person with no bills and really no kids to support like that, or no spouse or whatever, I'm all in this like 100%. And I struggle. Like there's days, I fast a lot. So I try to save money on even eating, right? So I don't know. You know, people get mad and yell at the company. I will tell you, we're at 19. Oh, thanks, Britt. So I will tell you that I would have done left if I had someone else to support, even one person. I've seen some really scarce weeks as far as money goes. Is it Dart's fault? Nope. It's how I need to run my business. So I've adapted very quickly. Like I told you, like the first week was very hard. I only booked like 3,000 in loads. And that's gross. Now, mind you, my carrier takes 30%. Right? Yeah, Nevada. I stay away from all spending, okay? Right now, like I have the mindset like my business is not prepared to pay me more than the X amount of salary. Like I have a payroll company, so I get paid a paycheck from my company as a W-2 employee. I get paid a certain amount, and right now I struggle to meet that payroll amount. It's not a lot. Like I've decided to pay myself $1,200 a week because at the beginning when I was working at JB Hunt, I was like, okay, this is a salary that I can live on. So my first goal money-wise was to at least be able to keep that kind of income coming in so that I know that I can at least be cool, right? It's not a large income. And that's not $1,250 to my pocket. That's $1,250 to the payroll. So what that means for me is an $800 salary every week. The rest goes to taxes, right? Because you got to pay taxes on that. I do my LLC. I changed it to a C Corp. So I have a 21% corporate tax for the business for 5 years. So I got that kind of locked in. So I'm an employee of Solid Fleet Transport, which is the name of my company, and I get a paycheck every week direct deposited into my account. Now that comes out of my business account, and right now that's all my company can afford to pay me. I have been able to also hire the accountant, who is Barb Starr, which Jeffrey Lake had recommended to me. She has now closed her business just as of a couple weeks ago, so I have to find a new accountant. But I was supporting paying accountant services also, okay, which she took. I had her take out $100 a week, and that covered any transactions I had to do or send stuff into her, and they put it all in QuickBooks and all of that. So I was able to support purchasing an accountant like that and my salary and scraping by with that, because now my salary, my little $800 a week, it takes care of whatever I want personally or what need to take care of at home personally or whatever. Everything else goes to the business, which that doesn't leave much left. So that's kind of how that looks. My first person that I was paying was my accountant, because without a strong accountant, a strong trucking accountant, I think that's how some guys fail, is that everything can come crashing down on you because you don't know where you're at. Like, it was very important to me to stay. I know the importance of organization and keeping track of every single thing, right? Because I'm so data analytical. So I wanted that intact, because at the same time, my future plans, I need to look really good to the bank, right? Just in case I need them to do something for me. I want to look so solid from day one. So I invested in that first, and then I considered the payroll service, right? Instead of just taking money out, keeping it as a LLC and it's a cash flow. I didn't want that. I wanted strong structure. So I hired the payroll company, and they're reasonable. I get a discount for going through my bank, and I'm going to have that guy on one day for an interview too, because I know a lot of people probably wonder, like, should I get a payroll service? Should I do that? It was very easy. It's very inexpensive, and I'm very happy with how it's done. It's like almost a no-brainer for me. And so they take care of those taxes. They handle all of that. It's all included in the whole thing. So I have that part of the structure going on. So I feel like I've been doing okay, like business-wise and building the structure right and all of that. Like, I've really just been trying to really pay attention to the great teachers that we have on YouTube and listening to their advice and making my decisions from listening to all that information. So just a girl out here trying to do it right. So and also, hopefully I can encourage somebody who is out here who's asking about, maybe wondering about other aspects of the business, who is really wanting to build the business. I hope this helps, because those are important things that are going to come with the business. Doing a cash flow LLC, for me, it was too sketchy. Like, I didn't want that much comfort with getting my money. I wanted a strong structured business. Like, it's just kind of, that's where my mind was at. So that takes sacrifice. Like, I can't have $5,000 a week or $1,000 a week in my pocket. Like, my business can't afford that right now. And I'm humbly, like, just being honest about it. So I'm getting paid what my business can afford, and I'm, by the grace of God, I've been out here just barely, able to make that my accountant get paid and make my payroll. And so I am saving money in the maintenance accounts for the truck, and whatnot. But anytime the truck needs a repair, like, I pay for it out of my business account, and I don't take it out of that maintenance account that the carrier keeps for me, because to me, that's my savings account for my balloon payment. I don't want to touch that. So as the truck is needed, just maintenance stuff and this and that, I've paid for it out of my business account. So that money keeps building up, and then I'm able to take care of, what I need to, my PMs and my truck washes and things like that. I had to have a knock sensor replaced once, but that was covered under warranty. And it was in Maryland that I got it fixed at a dealership, and they had the part, and it was right when all the parts were missing. Like, all those Kenworths were on the lots because they didn't have parts. My Freightliner, I was able to just go in there, and in 3 days, they had my knock sensor fixed, and that was good. So I was blessed with that too. But yeah. And so that was covered under the warranty on the truck, and then all the maintenance stuff I just pay for. So I don't touch those maintenance accounts. And God, I hope I never have to, because that's a nice little savings nugget that I got, that I know that's there. And DART will allow me to use that money. Let's say if I never touch it, they'll allow me to use that money to apply to the balloon payment when I want to do that. My other option to pay off the truck is, aside from moving it to a carrier that can pay the payments, the other option is for me to go in there and write the check. And that would be a situation where if I went to the bank, then I would just go, cash it out. I have that opportunity at any time. But my business is only 1 year old, and I don't have that kind of business credit established. And you guys that are in here, what would be awesome, because I know you guys know about this stuff better than me, is, as a new business owner, A to B called me just recently. I got in touch with the first guy that you recommended to me, Nevada. Thank you very much. And he asked me for my documentation, and then I sent it to him and never heard nothing back. So then I finally contacted the company, and he quit his job. So I lost the first guy. Or otherwise that would have been done earlier. But now a new representative has finally contacted me, and we're working on that. But I would like you guys to maybe talk about on some videos, like, what was your very first step in for your business, for your trucking company? Because that's kind of a next step for me. And I'm sure for other people too, I have the same question, probably a lot of us, and just don't know where to start. I did ask my bank, but they want you to put a whole bunch of money in an account and have like a secured credit card thing. So, okay. Yeah. So A to B is a thing, but I would love, especially from the older gents that have established their business credit, could you maybe talk about how, some of the different things that you did to get you started? Because I know it takes off quickly once you get it initiated and keep everything up. But that would be, I would ask you guys for some videos on building business credit. I've looked up a million on YouTube, but it's not like watching one of the gang, like saying, hey, this is, you want to start here and then build it up to that and whatever. In a practical, somebody talking to it that actually did it would, I think, at least for me, it would be very helpful. So, that's because that's my next step. And it's not like a lot of the guys are talking about, okay, yeah, you got to have credit. Yeah, you gotta have cash and credit. I've gathered all of those viewpoints, but nobody's like saying, hey, if you're a new owner operator, to start thinking about this, or call these people and then call these people. This is what I did, that type of thing. As I'm doing it, I want to share it too. But at this point, I just like a little bit of a deeper dive in how trucking companies establish that for themselves, because I just don't want to go get a bunch of regular visas. Like, my main concern is, maybe equipment or fuel cards and this and that. But I know, Snorlord, I know you were there for me, and I know you can tell me, but I'm saying, hey, how about make a video on it? Because there's a whole bunch of people like me that would love to watch that, right? I bet it would get a ton of views. But I'm going to call you anyway. Thank you so much. But anyways, guys, that's kind of just what it is, and that's my background that I've come from. Very, very good job. I was working with a lot of very smart people, learned a lot from them while I was there. And people laugh at me now because they're so used to me being like in this executive suit type, big building type of job. And I see people 10 years later, right? And now they're like, so what are you doing now? Are you still working at Chrysler or whatever? And I'm like, no, I'm a truck driver. And everybody's like, what? Like, oh my gosh, so it's just such a flip-flop from what people are used to, what I've always done. But for me, like, this is the best. Like, I'm so happy I did it, and I love it. And I love the freedom it gives me to be creative with my own business and working for me. Credit score. Yeah. Credit score is important. And that's a general, like, credit score is a credit score. But building business credit in a trucking company, when we work like we do, like we're just operator type businesses, I think to dial it down, to specifically us, I think that would be a very helpful video or video series or whatever it is. Snorled, wink, wink. Just throwing out ideas. Nevada, you're another good one for that. Wink, wink. You guys could probably lay out. I think you guys have established credit for your businesses. Maybe a couple, and Snorlord, you probably have some for 2 businesses. I don't know. It seems like you might, but you get it all started, and there's a process. The process is what's great in the gray area for the new people. So I'm looking forward to, getting that part of my business established as well as I'm on this journey. So not taking any shortcuts, guys. I just kind of dove in, and hi, Cordova. Thanks for popping in. You guys, thanks for the likes and for coming into my first live. This is really weird. I don't know if you guys know anything about it, but like the first time I tried to go live on my YouTube channel, they were like, oh no, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, right? So I was like, okay, a while before I can do that. I'm up to like 386. Thanks to everybody who's given me shout outs on their channels too, So I didn't think this was going to be possible for me. That's why in my last video, I was like, I don't know, it's telling me I'm going to go live. So this is more fun because I get to interact with you guys, and it's good to see you here. Getting kind of hot in this truck. I've kept it out. It's very hot in Alabama. And I love you guys so much for popping in and sharing this few minutes with me, so I could tell you my little story. But I'm still stuck with this load of these paper rolls, or trying to figure out where I'm going to take them. And I'm just kind of off on the side of the road. And I usually don't stop. I work all the time. So for me to even have a few minutes to do this with you is rare. But I'm glad we could take advantage of it today. I hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend. And yeah, it's going to be a great year. So despite all the stuff going around and all of this scariness, like, I choose not to be afraid. Like, man, we've been through so much. So why spend another day like worrying about it? Like, just go get the day, seize the day, right? Carpe diem. And I choose to live like that until I can't anymore. because we never know what's going to happen tomorrow. People can speculate all that you want. Yeah, no fear. Fear don't live here. That's what I always say. Fear don't live here. So, yes, be wise. Yes, be mindful. But, you know, we have such a great career, and it's the best office in the world. Take it from one who's been in a cubicle for years. Like this, I would fight somebody. I would drive for cost than, you know, maybe and then a few pennies more, which I kind of have done before. And before I would really ever want to quit all of that this gives to me. And so I hope you guys see it the same way. I know people get irritated and frustrated and tired and stuff. Like, you guys have been around a long time, and I'm still like brand new and green, and I'm still excited about it. And I would just encourage anybody, like, remember why you did this, and try to get a rekindle that fire of the love for what this is. And I know there's a lot going on trying to keep us from that, but just stay positive, guys. Every day is different. We never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Hey, Big Houston. And thanks for coming in. You know, just try to keep the sunny side up, man, because attitude can steal your happiness. And that's the biggest thing I think you have to fight with every day. You gotta wake up and get fired up. And you are heroes. The truckers move this country. Be proud of what you do. I'm proud of what you do. I'm proud of what I do. I feel good about it. And if you can remember the essence that's what you love about this thing, that, you know, when you're at home and your mind is on the road, or the road's calling you, like, that's what you have, the essence. Like, it's there. Like, there's something about this that you love. So try to hang on to that and stay passionate about it. And to me also, we're really helping people. And I hope that's a value to you in what you do. And also being a professional. You are a professional. You are a hero. And you are moving this country. Like, remember that? Like, that's who we are. That's what we do. That's what this is about. And that, to me, is exciting and beautiful. So catch the spirit. Have a great day, guys. I'm sweating. I gotta get some air. So I love y'all. Thank you for sharing this few moments on my first live with me. I appreciate you so much. Have a great day. Go get money.